All right, guys, welcome to this page of the notes, and what we're going to do is we're going to start to take a look at that second objective or learning target, which is going to be solving exponential inequalities. Now, it's going to be almost exactly the same as solving an exponential equation. We've got these two really nice properties down here of equality. The only difference is now you're going to have inequality symbols rather than an equal sign. So let me go ahead and just jump right down here into this because you'll recognize it from what we did earlier with exponential equations. This is going to be our property of inequality for exponential functions. As long as b, the base, is something greater than 1, then a couple of things that make perfect sense. If the bases are the same, right? If the bases are the same, if b to the x is greater than b to the y and the bases are the same, then we can set the exponents, but it'll be x is greater than y. That'll allow us to solve for a variable. Vice versa, as long as the bases are the same, if b to the x is less than b to the y, as long as the bases are the same, we can set those exponents with the same inequality, x is less than y. All right, so it ties in real nicely with our first objective, solving exponential equations. It's just now you have inequalities and they make perfect sense. We'll do the same thing, get the bases the same so we can pull those exponents down, and then we'll just solve the inequality for the exponents. Let's take a look at how these guys are going to go then. I've got one for you right here. Remember, the trick to these in Algebra 2, though, is that the bases aren't going to be the same. You're going to have to try and get them to a point where they will be. Now, there's no way to rewrite a 16 so that it's an 8, because 8 squared is 64. So I'm going to have to change them both, and a 2 will work. 8 is a 2 cubed. That's going to be greater than. I can get a 16 by doing 2 to the 4th. So I've got my 2 to the 4th, which is just rewriting the 16. Now my bases are the same. I have to take care of my properties of exponents, where I multiply the exponents together because of a power. But don't forget to distribute the 4 through that entire quantity, 2x minus 3. And then I'll just set the exponents, equal to each other using the inequality I've been given. Actually, it's this one right here. So here's what I've got. I will then have 2 to the, 8x minus 12 is less than 2 to the 3rd. Then I know that 8x minus 12 is going to be less than 3, right? I just take my exponents, I set up my inequality, and let's solve for x. I'll add the 12 to the other side. Adding 12 to both sides doesn't flip the inequality. Divide both sides by 8. It's a positive 8, so again, I do not need to flip the inequality. I wind up with x is less than, x has to be less than 15/8. 15/8 is equal to 1.875 as a decimal if you were looking for that. But remember, I generally like to leave things as a rational number or a fraction instead, 15/8. Let's go ahead and do another one. I got this one right here for you. Again, we've got 625 and 5. Well, I think chances are probably pretty good I can rewrite the 625 as a 5, and it turns out I can. It's going to be a 5 to the 4th, greater than or equal to 5 to the a plus 8. Well, that wasn't really that tricky. My bases are the same, so we'll go ahead and set up our inequality. 4 is greater than or equal to a plus 8. Subtract the 8 to the other side, and what you wind up with, actually here, let me do this. I'll wind up with 4 minus 8 greater than or equal to a, which means minus 4 greater than or equal to a. Turn that guy around because we generally like our variable to be on the left-hand side. So a is less than or equal to minus 4. A is less than or equal to minus 4. Again, no need to flip the inequality because I never multiply or divide by a negative number. And so here's what I wind up with. This inequality will be true as long as a is a number less than or equal to a negative 4. Right? And that'll keep this inequality true. All right, guys, head on over to the next page of the notes. We'll try a few more of these together just to make sure you've got them down pat. So head on over, and I'll meet you guys there.